Boom, shaka, laka, boom. You tuned in to the free-range human show of choice, your daily dose of reality radio. It starts right now. This is the Clay Edwards Show. I am, of course, Clay Edwards. I'm coming at you live here on the 50,000 megawatt blowtorch, flamethrower, whatever you want to call it. 1039 WYAB. We are streaming worldwide and live from the little First Amendment outpost at the Cotton Exchange Plaza on the Mazda of Jackson live stream to over 300,000 rabid Clay Edwards Show followers across all the different platforms at Save JXN on Facebook, YouTube, X, and shortly we will be up and live on Instagram, straight flexing as well. I sat down here and I'm running a little behind. I had to use the restroom this morning and didn't quite get to load everything up like I like to. So we are copying and pasting and efforting, as they say in the business, getting Instagram up and running. We're just a few clicks away there. Hope everybody's having a great morning. We're also at Clay Edwards Show over on Rumble, Twitch, and Kick if you were into supporting and promoting the alternative free speech streaming platforms. Well, I don't know that that Kick or Twitch are free speech, but Rumble is. The others are more like gaming and streamer platforms. Hey, we want to reach the kids too. If anybody's doing any grooming around here, dang it, it's going to be us. America. The good grooming. The good grooming, right? Groom kids to love this country and not take any crap from a lefty. That's the kind of grooming I can support. Can I get a hell yeah this morning? Hell yeah. Hope everybody's having a good one out there. Getting real close to Instagram being up and running. We'll pivot while that's happening. Make sure we check everything. Make sure everything's good. All right, man. We're on Facebook and we're on YouTube. And at the end of the day, those are the most important ones. Well, I'll be dang. I thought we were up on on Rumble. We are not on Rumble this morning. So my apologies on that. But we're on the main ones. At the end of the day, here's the deal. If we can be on YouTube, as far as streaming goes, WYB is the most important. That's where the bukus and bukus more listeners are on the radio, because this is a radio show that just so happens to live stream. But we do have a real large live streaming audience that we have cultivated and built up on Facebook and YouTube. But I do like streaming to X as well, because I think that is going to be the next very large streaming platform, and I kind of want to be on the front end of that as Elon implements more features over there and kind of makes it the one-stop app. I mean, because y'all remember when AOL, America Online, first came up, it was the one-stop app before anything. It was social media. It was news. It was entertainment. It was a search engine. It was everything. Now, granted, you had to pay for access, but it was access to everything. I kind of miss that. That's sort of like what Facebook is now, right? A little bit of everything there. I mean, but YouTube was definitely the social media. Clay, how's the social media? The chat rooms. Those AOL chat rooms were off the chain. Hell, I'll tell you, I got catfished. I learned early on what getting catfished was in an AOL chat room. I'm glad it happened. I think I was like maybe 21, 22, something like that, 23. Anyway, I got catfished. I went down to the coast and I got bamboozled. But hey, it happens to the best of us. So I was glad. I got rooked early on in the internet, and I never got catfished again. But social media, man. AOL, that was good stuff. Well, look, it looks like we're not going to be streaming on Instagram this morning. Oh, well. We don't do a whole lot of viewers over there anyway. But like I said, we're where we need to be. We're on YouTube, and we're on Facebook. Everything else is icing on the cake. And we're on X, so let me X out of there. Let's see here. Let's check out the live chat this morning. We got some breaking news that we're ready to break on this story on the show, about a story that a lot of us have been following. The Mazda Jackson live stream. Looks like we got some good mornings and some hell yes over there, so I appreciate everybody. I see Shane Ladd, Shane like Alan Ladd, says fatigue and rot are not strong enough words at this point. No, they're not. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to dive off into my inbox this morning. Now, I posted a couple screenshots yesterday on my Facebook page, and I was like, should I post all of the threats that I've gotten over the last 24 hours and just the rude and vulgar messages that I've gotten from Carmelo Anthony supporters, culture rotters. Culture rotters has become a descriptive now. Anyway, the culture rotters. We ought to sell shirts for the urban folks that just say culture rotter on it. I was telling somebody yesterday, I was like, man, I wish I could monetize culture rot like I was able to FAFO. But just putting culture rot on a shirt doesn't really do a whole lot for you. You need I don't know that I want to wear a shirt that just says culture rot. But maybe if you could trick the people who were doing the culture rotting into wearing a shirt self-identifying as culture rotter, it could be onto something. It could be onto something, which I kind of got an idea that I'm working on to really monetize all this stuff. I don't know if monetize me. Yes, I do everything with the hopes of one day turning it into being able to make money, but it's not always the short-term goal for stuff. But I do want to start kind of an aggregate news site where I just, at the end of the day, steal news stories from all over the Southeast and put them on one news site, kind of run stories through my AI, word it the way I want it, with incendiary headlines, incendiary stories, but kind of all from the Southeast, and put them in one place. And just maybe, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking about that. I think I want to start off with Jackson and Mississippi and then kind of spread out to do cities like Jackson, Baton Rouge, Atlanta, so on and so forth, and New Orleans, Memphis, and kind of go from there. But I think there's plenty of it going around, and I think it should be highlighted. That's what these people want, right? They want attention. They want to not do right. And I think we should give them the spotlight for it because they can't stand that. They like the attention for it. I mean, they go kill people. They put it in rap songs. I mean, it's all about the culture. They promote the culture of violence, death, and everything else. They just don't like it when we talk about it. And I've definitely gathered that from my inbox the last couple of days. And because I've been discovered by a lot of new people through this Carmelo Anthony trial. And what's crazy is that by my standards, I really haven't gone hard on Carmelo Anthony. I just simply posted Austin Metcalf will never forget you. We're going to say his name. Say his name, say his name. Anyway, we're going to say his name. They don't like that, man. They don't like it when you take their little isms, like say her name, and you flip it around to say his name or say her name when it's not a minority. Ooh, they don't like that. You know, I was on a thought yesterday. I said something and I had Sean in here, and I decided to kind of pump the brakes a little bit because I don't want to drag Sean into some of my negativity. But I appreciate Sean coming on yesterday. We were ahead of the curve on dissecting that Carmelo verdict like we did yesterday, because I saw a lot of other of the YouTube streamers that I follow doing the same thing and saying the same thing. And I think that's pretty cool because we're the first show on in the mornings that really dives into this stuff, especially with a big streaming platform also, that really peels the onion back on some of these cases. And then, especially like these national cases, then you kind of watch throughout the day and you see a lot of these people with millions of followers saying the exact same thing that we said on the Clay Edwards show first. That's why I love having access to great minds like Sean Yurtkaran. And some of the things Sean brought to the table yesterday were parroted by other big national platforms with a whole lot more followers. So that was kind of cool little feather in the cap. And Sean was able to repurpose some of that content and did really good with his engagement farming and stuff yesterday. So we're always happy to be a part of that. But how I was going somewhere with all that, kind of forgot what I was going to say, but it will come back to me. But we've kind of stumbled onto, I know what I was going to say real quick and put a bow on it. Based on all the rotten messages that I've gotten in my inbox, it confirms something I have thought for a long time that I learned early on doing the Save Jackson page, that the bigger crime in the eyes of the culture is talking about the crime, and especially not being of the same ilk as the committer of the crime. What is the greatest sin in their eyes is me talking about it, not them committing it. Because, if you've listened to the show long enough, you heard the intro about positive solutions. Well, look, I said it. The positive solutions crowd has been in charge for a long time now. And I ain't seen too many positive solutions. And I heard a great quote last night listening to another podcast. And I stopped what I was doing in my kitchen and I wrote this down as a post. It was 9 hours ago. So it was almost 11 o'clock last night. I can criticize a moral wrong without having to provide a positive solution for said wrong. And where that stemmed from in their conversation was talking about abortion, and they were talking about that couple, these terrible people that decided to have an abortion because they found out their child was going to have Down syndrome. Now, I would say that if you knew your child was going to grow up to be a culture rot gangbanger, if there was a way to know, if there was just a hint to know that Dijon Tavius was going to grow up to go killing cops, breaking in homes, and killing senior citizens, yada, yada, yada. If there was just a way to know if they were going to do that, if there was a sign when you found out you were pregnant that there's a high probability that they were going to grow up to become domestic terrorist, culture terrorist, I would be okay with you aborting that child. I would. I mean, because we're going to end up having to do it for you with the death penalty. So a little post-birth abortion up there at Parchman. But we could save everybody a lot of heartache and money by just doing it ahead of time. But anyway, the conversation's spurred from talking about people having children with Down syndrome and putting them up for adoption. And they always like to say, to the pro-life people, the pro-abortion people always like to say, well, unless you've adopted a child, you can't say nothing about abortion. Yes, I can. I can talk about murder being bad, and I've never killed anybody. You're allowed to talk about moral sins, moral problems, without having an immediate solution for said problem. I mean, the solution is always, how about don't do it? Don't do it. So anyway, I got a kick out of that. I liked what the guy said about you don't have to have a solution for the problem to criticize the problem. Correct. I can look at Jackson, Mississippi, and all the things going on in the rotten culture that is Jackson. And there is some great things in Jackson. And I know people get mad that I don't cover them. But let's be honest. A lot of my demographic that really loves the stuff I do, they're not going to Cathead Jam. They're not going to stop the gun violence rallies. They're not going to some of these things. And also, I'm not promoting y'all's events for free when I charge people to promote their events. So there's a schism there. All the good things going on in Jackson are private events, for-profit events. Why would I promote that for free just because it's good for Jackson? No. The promote for free phase of my career is over with, unless it's something I just want to get behind and help out with, which I'm not above doing. But Cathead Jam, some of these other things, and I'm just using that as an example here, those are multi-million-dollar businesses. They can promote themselves. They don't need Clay Edwards to help do it for them. Now, you get a little business owner just getting started off, needs a little pub. You know, I never mind doing that, because when he grows up and can afford to start doing some advertising, I want him to remember, or her to remember, man, you know what? Clay Edwards helped me out. Gave me some free pub when I was first getting started. It's time to pay that back. Anyway, I know I'm all over the place, but this is what I love about a good opening monologue and a good rabbit hole, is it gives me the flexibility to talk about whatever I want. Let's take a break. When we come back, were there signs that the Hobbs brothers were destined to go on the crime streak that they went on in the last 7 to 10 days? Did one of the Hobbs brothers shoot a child at a bus stop in Simpson County sometime in the last 2 years? I believe I have confirmed, as close as I can come to confirming that as possible. We're going to discuss that and more. Don't go anywhere. This is the Clay Edwards Show, 1039 WYAB. We are powered by Better. What is it? Live Better. Man, all this talking, all these words. We're powered by Live Better, Men's Health and Wellness, Gluckstadt, Mississippi. You can find them online at livebettermen.com, or you can text Clay to 601-633-9017 and get a free testosterone screening scheduled today. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. 1039 WYAB. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show, 1039 WYAB, streaming worldwide, WYAB.com. Yeah, by the way, we don't mention that as much, WYAB.com. If you just want a live stream, audio only, of the radio show, without video, without all the social media, any of that stuff, you can go to WYAB.com, hit listen, or it's either listen or live. You'll figure it out. You're smart. And what I do is, and what a lot of people are doing, since we don't have a quote-unquote WYAB app, if you'll just, whatever your native browser is to your phone, if you have Apple, it's Safari. Open it in Safari. I still use Chrome preferably, but to save something to the home screen, I think you got to use the native browser. So for Androids, it's Chrome. For Apple, it's Safari. Hit the little arrow at the bottom and said save to home screen, and boom, one touch away. And WYAB and any host that's on the air live in that moment, sports, whatever's going on, you got it at your fingertips no matter where you are worldwide. So if you're running around town and you get outside of our listening area and just kind of get a little static in the FM, now you got to get pretty far away, let's be honest, with that 50,000 watt flamethrower. But with that said, WYAB.com, we're always streaming there, and we do pretty big numbers there. I'm always blown away at the amount of people who listen just on that live stream. Also, we are streaming worldwide on the Mazda Jackson live stream, and of course, that's brought to you by Mazda of Jackson, who right now, for June, guys, it is all systems go. For the first time since they've been a partner on this show, they're offering 0% with approved credit. So come test drive the all-new, redesigned 2026 Mazda CX-5. More room for you and your cargo makes the third-generation CX-5 the best one yet. I don't know about y'all, but the older I get, the more stuff that travels with me. 90% of the time, I'm the only person in my truck, but my back seat in my F-150, I keep the seats folded up because I'm constantly throwing stuff back there that I do not need. Anyway, so more cargo room goes a long way the older you get, as I've noticed. So look, Mazda's best-selling SUV is going to come with a year. And this is every vehicle there, not just this, by the way. It comes with a free year basic maintenance. That's your oil changes, tire rotations, all that good stuff. Also, Mazda still specializes in certified pre-owned vehicles with hassle-free trade-ins. And those options are always going to be available. Real quick, I'm going to make this quick. We're going to get back to the news. On certified pre-owns, what that means is it's also going to qualify for any special financing that is offered on the new version of that car. I believe that's still the way that works. So there's a lot of incentive to buy a certified pre-owned from that dealership. Now, just so you know, Mazda is only going to have a certified pre-owned from Mazda. Just, I didn't know that until I started selling cars, so it's not a stupid question. So I'm assuming somebody out there didn't know that, because you can't go to Mazda and be like, you don't have a certified pre-owned Ford? No, that's going to be at the Ford store. But a certified pre-owned Mazda from Mazda. And they're always, in my opinion, the best deal at the dealership if you can find the vehicle you want. So always be on the lookout for a certified pre-owned from Mazda. And last but not least, you can stop in today, see them in person right there, Briarwood at 55 in North Jackson, or online at MazdaofJackson.com. Locally owned, locally operated. Good folks, man. Tell them Clay sent you. All right, so let's get to it. I had to go figure out which one of the Trinity of Terror names I was going to use here for this story, because frankly, it's all confusing. There's Cortavion, there's Cortavius, then there's, let's see here, all three names are Cortavius, Cortavion, and then there's, well, whichever one the other one was, hold on. And then there was the other one who is Cordarius. So I think we're talking about Cortavion. So let me double check here. This is so confusing. So confusing. Cortavon. So we're talking about Cordarius. Hold on one second. Cortavius. Man, this is, it doesn't matter. I'm going to show you what he looks like. And this is the one we're talking about. He was the passenger. He was the passenger in the car that shot the cop. So I don't know if that makes him the shooter, or if that makes him the driver, or if that makes him the accessory. So here's the rumor. He was involved in a bus stop shooting in Simpson County 2 years ago. So I got to layer this with an allegedly. He was a minor. The record has been sealed, but rumors and innuendo suggest that he shot a kid either on the bus or at the bus stop, and for some reason, no charges were pressed. Let's pull this up here. Here's a news article that was written about this very thing. I'm just blown away. I am blown away that this didn't get, that you can shoot somebody and charges not be pressed. I'm having to pull my comments back up. Give me 1 second here. I apologize. I got it. All right. I just got to be able to read it. So this is from the People's Paper. It's kind of a little independent newspaper website. And I've got tons of screenshots from people who also messaged me when I asked the question, because I was trying to confirm this last night and I just couldn't do it through my traditional sources. So sometimes you just got to ask Facebook. And people were ready. People have been holding this in. But here's a news story. It says, as Simpson County authorities investigate a deadly standoff that left 2 people dead. A Panola mother says the same teenager charged in that case. Okay, so hold on. This mother claims it's the kid who shot the 2 elderly people. So we'll get the name right here in just a second. So it says the same teenager charged in that case was the one who previously arrested in connection with the 2024 shooting of her son. Alicia Camper said her oldest son, Jamarcus Jenkins, was 16 years old when he was shot on January 8th, 2024, after getting off the bus near the family's home on Burnell Drive. That's in Panola, Mississippi, not to be confused with Panola County, where the other trash bags are from. This is Panola, Mississippi, down in Simpson County. So let's circle back real quick. Let's make sure we get the right name. Man, all these names being so similar is extremely confusing, and I'm guessing that has something to do with why they do it like that. I mean, just absolute trash bags. Let's see here. Cordarius LaRae Hobbs is who she's claiming did it. But one of my sources in law enforcement, was pretty adamant yesterday that it was one of the other brothers. But, I mean, doesn't matter. At the end of the day, doesn't matter which one it was. What it should have shown was a sign that this family is raising terrorists, domestic terrorists. When you shoot a kid at a bus stop or on a bus and you don't get charges pressed on you, I need to understand. We need to talk to somebody down in Simpson County and get an idea of what in the blue hell went wrong here. I'm going to read you a couple more screenshots that I got on this. Now, obviously, I'm keeping my sources close to the vest here because they don't want their names out there, and I can understand why. One of my people said, yes, it is true. He skipped school, sat and waited for the bus to come. He was hiding in the bushes and shot the young man in the back. It was the 17-year-old that got apprehended in the Simpson County double homicide. Paint me shocked. Another person says, hey, I can definitely confirm that the 17-year-old Hobbs brother did shoot the kid in the back while getting off the bus in 2024. Please don't put my name in it, though. Now, here's another interesting, and I'm not going to say this guy's name. It said, this is a screenshot of a private conversation, so I'm going to try to understand the context of why it sounds like I'm reading something weird. It said, I've heard they maybe have interrupted a robbery. Talking about why those people would have got killed. That ain't why they got killed. They were in the house. Anyway, I digress. He's talking about that kid. Says, always been in trouble. I used to drive his bus and was rumored to have been involved in a shooting a fellow student from Mendenhall after a fellow student got off the bus a few years ago. Honestly, when we were on our way to McGee today, my mind went to that. They have done all the all the police stuff. Anyway, kind of reads a little clunky there, but so let's pull his image. Well, I tell you what, let's take a break. When we come back from the break, we'll pull up the right image and remind y'all what that thug looked like. And then I guess the question of the day, and we've had this conversation so many times on this show, is that, and Sean will tell you it's a slippery slope, and I agree it is a slippery slope. But at some point, is there a way to start arresting the parents for this kind of stuff? Drop me a comment in the live stream, the Mazda Jackson live stream. Yes, no. And if you're a critical thinker, tell me how you would implement it. just would it be the first time they do something, arrest them? And just mirror every time the kid does something, mirror the charges as the adult from the first time they do it, and that way you set a standard of expectations. Or is it, say, if they commit a felony before the age of 18, the parent's charged with it, the parent who is the legal guardian? And I say you charge if there's a father that's not present, I say you charge him too. Let's talk about all that. Shoot me a text on the Ellis Autoplex text line if you want to give me some ideas or your opinions on not just if the parent should be charged, how and when the implementation of those charges should come into play. The Ellis Autoplex text line, 769-241-1944. You can also drop it in the Mazda Jackson live stream. I'm very curious what you guys think about this. This segment was brought to you by my friends over at Ellis Autoplex. I went by there yesterday, visited with Casey, Jason, Nate, the whole team. Great folks. Good to see everybody over there. Man, they got some gorgeous trucks out there right now. But, of course, they got cars and SUVs, too. Swing by, check them out. And it is technically Brandon. I've been saying Flowwood. It's technically Brandon, Mississippi. So stop by right there off Highway 471, Ellis Autoplex. You can follow them on Facebook or check them out online, ellisautoplex.com. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. This is the Clay Edwards Show, 1039 WYAB. All right, I'm going to check out some of y'all's comments here. It is wild just the amount of different information you get, because every bit of information I got from off Facebook said it was the kid who shot the elderly couple. But then I got a text from a very good law enforcement source, and I'm going to read that to y'all real quick. And this is just kind of what I went with, and why, just to be honest, why I kind of ignored the Facebook post. But I'm circling back to believe in the Facebook post. It said, hey, let Clay Edwards know that the idiot that killed the Blair family isn't the one that shot the kid when he got off the school bus. The school bus shooter is the passenger in the vehicle when they shot the deputy. Now that I read that again out loud, I'm back to believing that. So we're just going to stick with one of the Hobbs brothers. How about that? And just rotten seed is what it comes down to. Somebody says off Facebook is the start and end of the problem. Well, you got to get it where you got to get it from. Let's see here. Y'all get y'all's conversations going so much, it's hard to keep up what y'all are talking about. Also says, I used to work with the Mexicans hanging drywall. Only one, I can't read that. All right. Y'all all over the place. Roxy says, some parents are arrested. I would like to know the details on that, Roxy. Why or how were they arrested? Were they just arrested for showing their ass when the cops showed up? Or were they arrested and charged for something in particular? Casey says, why did the juvenile judge let him go? How other than a better way than to say it's okay to shoot people? Yeah, I mean, you're telling people, yeah, you know what, you can shoot a kid. They're just kids being kids. Clay, you don't understand. They're just kids being kids. They were brought up in poverty. Now, I see people, look, I'm the Facebook moderator, and I like the ignorance in the comments. Because, see, I want to expose the stupid people. I know it's annoying, but it's good for engagement. It makes me money. And I love knowing that the people that hate me pay me. And then what I like to do is I like to go back, and I got a buddy that watches this, and anytime any of them say anything stupid, he immediately reports their profiles, and we get them banned from Facebook for 30 days or so. I think we got about 20 of them yesterday. Were verified, confirmed Facebook takedowns. Because, Facebook gives you a notification. And we got their comments removed, and that does put a strike on their account. Because what they like to do is they like to come in here, and they like to say all this dumb shit. And then they like to try to delete their comments. But I got some people in here going snap, 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 snap. So do not delete anybody's comments. And I know I'm telling y'all how to cook the sausage. I don't care. Because it's still fun. And they'll never learn. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show, 1039 WYAB, streaming worldwide. The Mazda of Jackson live stream at SaveJXN, Facebook, X, YouTube, and then at Clay Edwards Show on Kick and Twitch this morning. Man, I did a poo-poo job of setting all the live streams up this morning, didn't I? It'd be like that sometimes. This segment brought to you by our friends over at, how about our friends over at Davini Rental, Kubota Orange Days. Now through June 30th, take advantage of Kubota Orange Days at Davini Rental and Supply, featuring big savings, including 0% financing offers or thousands off select tractors, mowers, and equipment. From tractors to zero-turn mowers to excavators and skid steers, Davini offers a full lineup of high-performance equipment to handle any job, big or small. Serving Mississippi for over 50 years, Davini's knowledgeable team is committed to helping you find the right equipment with dependable service and support. Davini Rental and Equipment located in Madison near Highway 51, or actually on Highway 51 near Gluckstadt, and then in Jackson right there off Spring Ridge Road, south of I-20. You can find them online, DaviniEquipment.com. All right, so we were talking about in the last segment these rotten Hobbs brothers that have just absolutely terrorized Simpson County, Covington County, and just that, I don't know what you call that area of Mississippi. You get a little further south and we call it the Pine Belt, Hattiesburg, Laurel, that whole area. So I don't know what you call that stretch of Simpson and Covington and all through there, Mize, that area. But that little area right there, they have wreaked havoc on for the last several years. Just a crime family, just little terrorists, culture rotters. I mean, Lord Jesus, please tell me they do not have any children. Please, Lord, tell me they have not made Mama Hobbs a grandmama. I'm sure they probably got a sister or something that does. I'm going to guess that she got more than these 3 boys. But man, needs to be in jail. She needs to be in jail. So that was the question. As we were going to break there, should Mama Hobbs be in jail and other mamas like Mama Hobbs? And I want to kind of read some of y'all's comments here. The comments are just completely off the chain this morning. We got a lot of people still upset about Austin Metcalf, about his killer, Carmelo. They're still saying free Mello. And they're just to show you how nasty the culture rotters are. They're saying that they're rolling up in smoke in Austin, and they wished his brother death. Like we said yesterday, when your enemy is defeating themselves, you'd be a fool to stop them. Somebody in the comments, Ashley in the comments said, would the Facebook moderator please block some of these people? And I'm like, absolutely not. Let them expose themselves. It's just like if we get a white racist that gets on here using the N-word or anything like that, I'm not deleting that. Clay, why don't you delete it? It's because you agree with it? No. I want to expose them too. Don't you want to know who the racists are? That's been my motto from day one. We support free speech, even the free speech we don't like. The only time that I've given my moderators permission to block or delete something is when they're just blatantly slandering me or them, or they're just spamming the hell out of the chat with nonsense over and over, repeated stuff over and over and over. But if they just want to be stupid, let them be stupid. It's good for engagement. It's good for engagement. Now, I mean, look, there's a line in the sand. Obviously, I'm the Facebook moderator, and I can't moderate in live time anyway. So let's check out the Ellis Autoplex text line here and see if we've gotten any comments about the question of the day. Let me pull it up here real quick. Unknown texture says, I think this is Michael, says, parents can sometimes face criminal charges when their own conduct contributes to the crime. Examples include knowingly providing a weapon used in a crime, helping plan or cover up the offense, encouraging or directing the child to commit the crime, criminal neglect in situations where state law creates a legal duty and the parent's failure directly contributed to harm. Says the legal system generally requires that criminal liability be based on a person's own actions or omissions, not their relationship that someone has. I get that. I understand that. But I think that we're reaching a cross the Rubicon moment here with crime. And I'm just going to be honest. I don't like it when I do it, but it's just, this ain't Timmy and Tommy in Rankin County doing this to the point that it's a cultural phenomenon. This is Cortavius, Dejanay. This is a problem in the black community, overwhelmingly. Majority, 90%, if not more. It's a problem in the black community, the violence and the criminality. And it's coming from mostly fatherless children. These are facts, and I'm sorry if y'all don't like the facts. Don't shoot the messenger. Y'all shot everything else. Don't shoot the messenger. You have to address the problem. You have to admit it, that you know what the problem is, then you have to address it. Democrats love to talk about the root cause. We got to get to the root cause. The root cause is mama laid down and slept with somebody that she had no intentions on being married to, and they fathered a child. We'll talk about that and more. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show. During this next break, this is our short segment here, only about a minute. During this next break, I am going through and I'm loading up all the screenshots of the death threats, the vulgar comments, all of that I've received over the last 36 hours or so in response to my coverage of the Carmelo Anthony, that little thug that's going to be spending the next 35 years rotting away in a jail cell, being somebody's concubine. It is booty time in cell block K for the next 35 years. Oh, they getting ready. New arrival coming in. Fresh meat. Anyway, we're gonna post all those on my Facebook page, and we're gonna go over them. And I'm gonna, if you want to watch and see the full version of them, you have to watch online. And I'm gonna clean it up enough to have the conversation on the air. It'll be PG, but you have to use your imagination, or you can go watch online or go check them out. Go check them out on my Facebook at SaveJXN here in about 5 minutes. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Also coming up here in the next hour, we're going to talk about Mr. Timeout himself. Mr. Timeout. Mr. Brady List. Mr. I Hate the Pearl Police. Leon Seals. Mr. Heart Attack every time the police come around. We're going to talk about Leon getting arrested yesterday. Man, why didn't his people cover that? They cover everything else. Breaking news. They cover all that, but they didn't cover Leon getting arrested. They didn't cover the white Foot Locker guy, Justin Fowler. They didn't cover that. I did. Breaking news. We're going to hit that up and more. Y'all don't go anywhere. We got to load up these screenshots here. If you want to get your death threat highlighted, send it to me now. We'll get you in. We'll make you famous. Boom goes La Dynamite. It's hour 2 of the most incendiary show on the RADIO. This is the Clay Edwards Show. 1039 WYAB, streaming worldwide, live on the Mazda of Jackson live stream. You can check them out online at MazdaJackson.com. You can check us out online at SaveJXN on Facebook, X, and YouTube. You can also find us over on Twitch and Kick this morning at Clay Edwards Show. We're usually on Rumble as well, Instagram too, but I goofed up getting us posted there this morning. But it'd be like that sometimes. All right, this segment brought to you by our friends over at Anglin Plumbing and Landscape. First off, if you're looking for a job, you ain't scared of a little hard work. You ain't scared to get your knees dirty crawling up under a house, working, getting dirty. Man, this could be a job for you. And it's going to be AI proof. There's not going to be any AI robot plumbers anytime soon. I'm not saying ever, but no time soon. So if you were coding somewhere, if you were doing data entry somewhere, and your job is being replaced slowly by AI chatbots and agents, you need to hit up Dylan over at Anglin Plumbing and get to work today. Starting at $50,000 a year for the right person. You know, some people are going to make less than that. But if you work hard, you can make a lot more than that. If you got more experience, you can make more than that. He's growing fast on the plumbing side. So be sure to hit him up. And if you need any plumbing done, from remodel, new construction, clogged up toilet, dishwasher disposal, anything that has water running through it or gas running through it, he can build it, fix it, redesign it, whatever you need. Anglin Plumbing. You can check them out online at anglinplumbing.com. That's ANGLIN plumbing.com. And, of course, they're in the landscaping business now, too. So if you need your yard cut, cleaned up, any of that good stuff, trimmed up, business or home landscaping needs, he's got it covered. Anglin Plumbing and Landscape. All right, let's get to it, shall we? First and foremost, we broke another story yesterday. We just breaking news story after news story here on this here on the show, on this platform. And sometimes I wonder why some of these other platforms, they don't do it. But we do. I mean, especially I find it kind of funny. A couple of my biggest haters, they had the tip on this. I know for a fact one of them was in the courtroom and chose not to cover this story. I mean, maybe it didn't fit his narrative. I don't know. Maybe he was like, "Oh, ain't no grift left to grift out of this one," and he's got up and left. Didn't even post about it. I checked their Facebook pages. Maybe there was a live about it and I missed it. I don't know. I can't watch all of his lives and his little videos. I just think I can't listen to it. It's brain damage trying to listen to that guy talk. But I didn't see no post about it. I didn't see old Boogeyman, old JP. I didn't see him post about it. He was giving this guy all kind of legal advice out in front of the courtroom last time he went to jail. How'd that work out for him? I think I quit taking legal advice from the Panola clown, but that's just me. What do I know? I'm just a free man out here, not effing around and finding out. But again, what do I know? Let's see here. So, Leon Seals, Mr. Timeout, Mr. Brady List, Mr. Medical Emergency every time the police come near him. Had a little court date yesterday morning over in Rankin County where he got found guilty again for assaulting a senior citizen neighbor, as well as simple assault, including threats, and was sentenced to up to 6 months in jail. Now, he'll have to serve at least 3 months of that. But here's the catch. He's now, because he keeps appealing this and it keeps going to different courts and he keeps being found guilty, the judge did his sentence consecutively. So at some point when the appeals run out, and they're going to run out and he's going to be found guilty, and no ifs, ands, or buts about it, he's got 9 months in jail waiting on him that he's going to have to serve because the judge set this up to be served consecutively. Not concurrently. Consecutively. So that means back to back. Like MJ and the Bulls winning championships 3 times in a row. Consecutively. Back to back. Back to back to back. And that's if he don't F up while he's in there. The 3 months based on good behavior. He could be there a year and a half. Based on what we know about his inability to stay out of trouble, I foreshadow a year and a half at minimum when the clock finally strikes midnight and the appeals run out. Because right now, he could do 3 months and only pay $500. That's the fine. If he wants to bond out on an appeal bond, it's a $2,500 bond. Now, I don't know how it works when you do the appeal bond and you're found guilty. Do they keep the $2,500? If he has the appeal bond out, let's just say 3 times, does he get the $7,500 back at any point or a portion of it back? I don't think so. I don't think that's how that works. I think you're just kind of buying your freedom. Anyway, Mr. Timeout has been put back in timeout. Now, I fully expect somebody to come up with the $2,500 for him. And maybe they'll start another GoFundMe, something like that, another Give, Send, Go, whatever they're using. You know, I won't ever get in the way of somebody trying to raise money. I ain't that kind of hater. But these guys all had no problem letting my name fall out of their mouth, spreading lies about me. You know, I wouldn't even normally talk about Leon getting in trouble because he actually likes the attention. Why I'm talking about Leon getting in trouble is because I saw something that Leon posted, not about me, about the couple that got killed down in Simpson County and about the cop that got shot down in Covington County. Leon said, and this is so disgusting, but Leon said, I'm pulling the quote up here. Give me just a second here. Here it is. I shared it. You know, before anybody goes feeling sorry for Leon, and man, Clay, you know, the police, they just messing with him. You know, Clay, you know, he's obviously slow. Why are you picking on that guy? Well, you know, I want to argue with you that he is obviously slow, and there's a reason why I didn't invite him to come as part of when I invited the other 3, including his sidekick, to come sit down across from me in the studio and try to have a conversation man to man, try to work through our differences or at least get on the same page, let them come to explain to me the facts that they think they have against me. Anyway, I digress. There's a reason why I didn't invite Leon. Well, because I got him on video. Well, I got him. The body cam footage that we posted of him, where he kept saying that he had been abused by the police and all this stuff, clearly showed that ain't the case, and it showed him having a medical emergency just about every time he got arrested because he'd rather ride in an ambulance than the back of a cop car. And it made him look really bad. So that's why they don't like me. But anyway, I was like, man, I don't want to have a medical emergency here in my studio. Like, the station just don't need the liability. I mean, guy gets so worked up he dies in the studio. I mean, that's some bad juju. I don't need this place becoming some kind of Indian burial ground. People leaving reefs and stuff out in front of here because he died in here because he got so worked up. I don't need that on my conscience. Plus, I mean, who wants to have to clean up that mess? We're upstairs here. There ain't no elevator. Who'd have to take him down? Load him up. Not me. Anyway, so here's what Leon said under the story of the Hobbs brother that killed the two folks out there in Simpson County. He was replying to my buddy Lance Barrett, and he said Leon's abuse of the English language should be studied. It truly should. Because you speculation now, you saying he was stealing. I don't know what happened. Maybe he had a reason to kill them. Now, his abuse of the English language makes it hard to completely understand what he was saying there. But I believe Lance may have been suggesting that that the Hobbs boy was stealing from the two old people, a breaking and entering. And I believe Leon was saying that was just speculation, that maybe they deserved to die and that he had a reason to kill them, is what Leon was saying. Brother, I hate to be the breaking news guy this morning, but there was no reason to kill them. Period. Point blank. You know, unless we want to go full Hollywood here and say maybe they abused him in a bad way, in an SA way, when he was a child or something. And maybe he's held that in and wanted to go get revenge. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just trying to rationalize in my head, like the only thing where I could maybe understand some justification of going to get some kind of justice. That didn't happen. Let's not even entertain that. My point being, don't feel bad for Leon. He didn't feel bad for those folks that got killed. Even said they deserved it. And then he was also speaking on the officer that got shot in Covington County. He was more concerned about the video of why he got fired, and we got some news on that too, some exclusive Clay Edwards Show news on that too. Leon, of course, got the idiot's side on that. Said that they deserved, they had a reason to shoot the police. So anyway, I don't feel sorry for him, and that is why we're talking about Leon this morning when normally we wouldn't, because he ain't worth talking about. He ain't a newsmaker. He wishes he was. It ain't because he can't keep my name out of his mouth. It's because he's disrespectful and just never on the right side of any argument. Ever. All right. We got all the screenshots loaded on Facebook. I got one last death threat as I was loading them. I'm just calling them death threats for short. Some of them are. I was kind of, the language is so nasty in them that I was almost hesitant to load them because I thought I might get a community violation. But it's worth it. We'll see. But we're gonna pull those up. You can go to my Facebook page at SaveJXN and watch along and read the uncensored versions. But we're going to pull those up on the screen here in a minute when we get back from the break. And we're going to expose just how rotten the culture is. That they think they should be allowed to kill anybody, themselves included. But if anybody touches one of them, death is the only answer. The hypocrisy in the community, again, should be studied by civilizations for hundreds of years once we get this thing under control. Like how not to lose grip of a civilization is don't pander to these people. My goodness, we'll be right back. This is the Clay Edwards Show, 103.9 WYAB. Welcome back in to the show. There's an incendiary show on the radio. This is the Clay Edwards Show, 103.9 WYAB. Man, how about my friends over at, I just heard their commercial, but I want to talk about them anyway. A1 Gear and Auto, right there, Highway 49 South, Florence, Mississippi. Guys, if you've done gone and bought a Jeep, a truck, jacked it up, put some big wheels and tires on it, and you're wondering why you've lost power, it's because your ring and pinion that are in that factory, that comes from that factory, they ain't built for them big wheels and tires. And frankly, neither are your brakes. You need to get by and see Justin and the team today. Let them upgrade your ring and pinion in your front and rear axles. Also, you need to upgrade your brakes, because if you got some 22s or 24s or something on that thing, some 40-plus inch tires, man, you need to be able to stop. It may feel like you can stop right now, but you're going to be burning up those brake pads and rotors. You need to upgrade. Go on and spend the money. Don't risk everybody else's life just so you can floss. Get it done right at A1 Gear and Auto. And look, hey, that's just one of the many things they do there. They do specialize in ring and pinion, whether it's an upgrade or not. They are your Jeep specialists as well. But look, they can do anything. The only thing they don't work on when it comes to a vehicle is diesel engines. They can refer you to somebody else. If they can't, I will. We know plenty of good diesel mechanics. If you're a diesel mechanic that owns a shop and you want to promote your businesses on the Clay Edwards Show, holler at your boy, Clay at WYAB.com. Man, I think that's a market that should absolutely be advertising on this show. Don't too many of the cancel culture folks drive diesels, so I don't think you got to worry about losing their business if you advertise with me. As a matter of fact, I think a lot of these FAFO supporters, Clay Edwards Show supporters, do drive heavy-duty trucks and would love to support you. So holler at your boy, Clay at WYAB.com. In the meantime, if you have any automotive issues, swing by A1 Gear and Auto. If your air conditioner ain't blowing as cold as it did last summer, they can knock that out real quick and in a hurry for you. Holler at them. Tell them I sent you. A1 Gear and Auto, Highway 49 South, Florence, Mississippi. Good folks over there, too. A lot of good eating down in Florence. We ain't got no sponsors down there food-wise, but a lot of good eating down there. We just ain't going to tell you who they are until they want to advertise. All right. Let's have a little fun this morning. That's what we have every morning here on the Clay Edwards Show. If it ain't nothing else, it's fun. I'm a glutton for punishment. I call that fun, right? Let's pull up my Facebook page here. And again, I advise you to go to my Facebook page at SaveJXN and watch along in person. Now, we're going to open up a different screen here. We're not going to have the comments on the screen for this, guys. I do apologize, but I need the screen to be as big as it can so y'all can see these screenshots. And I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I've been wanting to expose the culture for just how nasty they can be. And this Carmelo Anthony thing did just the number to be able to do it. All right, 1 second. Let me get that off the screen. All right, so here we are. I'm not going to be saying these people's full names on the radio, but you can see them online. I mean, trash just has a way of taking itself out sometimes. Just trying to see something here. What works best? All right, I think... Dang it. You can't see it on the small screen there. Give me 1 second. We're going to do it like this right here. All right, there we go. It ain't the best, but it'll work. All right, so Shad says, now this ain't the meanest one. It just said, do you got some against Africa, America? Hoo-wee. Again, the English language. That should have read, do you have something against African Americans? Generally speaking, no. So we'll answer the questions along here. No, I do not have a problem with Africa, America, or African Americans. I love African Americans. I love black people. I don't know about African Americans, but I love black people. I just don't like ghetto black culture anymore, period. I used to when I was younger. It was fun to kind of go play with it on the weekends and then go back to go back home, go back to the real world, and then kind of dabble back in with it on the weekends. You know, because that's what I thought everybody did. I didn't know that was a real lifestyle for them. I thought everybody just kind of played ghetto on the weekends. I didn't know that was actually a lifestyle, 7 days a week, 365, till I got older, till I got like my mid-20s. I just thought that everybody just kind of played gangbanger on the weekends. And then as I got older, I found out that no, that is an actual job for these people. Again, it's very, very, very subset of the community. But anyway, that's what Shad hit. Allie the Don, tatted up. I can't quite tell. It's a female here. No, this is wifey material, guys. Allie is definitely wifey material. She calls me a witch with a B. Tells me, witch, shut the F up. And I can't even tell you what else she said up under that. But very, very graphically, sexually explicit. Something she told me to go do. And then she also told me to die. They're very upset. This Carmelo Anthony thing really struck a nerve. Now, I want y'all to keep in mind, all I did was say, to trigger all this, well, it really ain't nothing I did. I just posted the stories, and because we got such a big following, the algorithm picked it up. All I did was remind them that we would never forget Austin Metcalf when we would say his name. Austin. Say his name. Austin Metcalf. Say his name. Austin Metcalf. Who killed him? Carmelo Anthony. Who's the killer? Carmelo Anthony. So this high yellow dude here, goes by the name Yella Knighton, says, who are you to put anyone in hell? God has the last say, you heard? I think he replied to something I posted. Maybe I said that Carmelo was going to rot in jail, then hell. Hey, look, I didn't create the Ten Commandments. God did. And one of the unforgivable commandments is murder. You know, we continue to say that you can do whatever you want, but all you have to do is ask for forgiveness. Well, that's between them and God. Because one of the reasons that I stay straight and I haven't killed anybody, it's real simple. I don't want to go to jail or hell. And I'm doing all I can to stay out of hell without going to jail already. So I don't want to expedite the process. Because I feel like I can barter when I get up there a little bit. I'm a good negotiator. I feel like when I get up in the golden gates and they open up and they start going over the list of the good and the bad and putting it on the scales and seeing how it all weighs out, even though my pastor told me that's not how it works. I just don't know that we're going to agree to disagree. Pastor Terry, I do believe that's how it works, that you need to just have done a little bit more good than bad and be a believer. And I think that should get you in. I really do. So, just hopefully that, well, I can't say anyway. Just, so that's what Yellen Knighton had to say. Again, not the worst of the worst. Rashad. Now, I will say fake last names and fake names. I think this is a real name. Rashad says, F Austin and F you too. Which would it be? All right. So I replied back the photo that I made of Carmelo with the 35-year sentence. Dwayne Lee says, now this is about the cop. This isn't about Austin. This is about the cop that got shot. He said, F him. He deserves it after everything he has done to other people's while working as a cop in Columbia, Mississippi, and got away with, so they fired him. So that is actually not true. And I've got some information on that we're going to circle back to in the next segment when we get done reading these. He also said, Now go post on that on your page. And I said, why don't, he said, now go post that on your page. That's the cop that y'all feeling sorry for. And it shows the video of the cop tussling with somebody. I said, why? To make you feel better? He said, no, I'm good. I'm glad he got shot. He deserved it. Hell, he should have died. This is what the culture thinks about police out there. Those Brady List people that I've been bickering with and going round and round with, and that have been harassing my sponsors and everybody else. These are the people they defend. And if me fighting these people gets them mad at me, then that is gladly my hill to die on. I will fall on that sword every day. And if that bothers anybody that's affiliated with this show on any level, from listener to viewer to sponsor to anybody else, I do not need your support, nor do I want it. I'm just going to be 100% honest with you. Dwayne woke me up yesterday morning to send me my address to let me know that he knew where I lived. And we had quite the colorful conversation of me explaining to him that I too have access to skip tracing technology, and I could find out where he lived as well. And I did just that. And that was the last message I got from Dwayne from Birmingham, Alabama. This is an unknown poster who who blocked me as soon as they sent this. It said, get yo BASS off the internet, effing pile of sticks that's supposed to be gay. You act like you was effing duh. I can't even read it all. It's just too bad. You can go see it. It's filthy terrible. Every other word, not a single word can I say on the radio. Then Black Sand said, oh, you know what? That was this person here before they deleted their account. So same thing. Me Lord, I wish I could come beat you up, but in a lot more colorful language. And I replied back, I said, you can. What's stopping you, boy? Let's see here. Shakori Kishon. Like, some of these names I just assume are fake, but then I think about some of the real names with all the vowels in it. And I'm like, well, you know what? Maybe that is a real name. Call me a dirty ASS cracker. Hawktua. She actually dropped a Hawktua. I kind of like this one. She's wifey material. And she called me a witch with a B to finish it off. Hawktua. Oh, man. Let's see here. Baccarat Kenny says, I'll do you just like Mello did that cracker, but worse. I'll beat you with my bare hands until you turn purple into blue in the face, you racist cracker. The fan club is great. Quinterio, how many vowels is that? 1, 2, 3, 4 vowels and a Q. See, if y'all know, if you have 4 vowels and a Q, that also counts as a 5th vowel, and it's a multiplier for like a daily double. Quinterio is absolutely going to be a serial killer at some point in his life or commit a mass shooting. Ain't no doubt about it. Probably already a felon. R.B. Raymond says, you a witch with a B. You gonna burn in hell under the Most High. What does that mean? Like it's going to be like super hot down there? Like they're going to turn the ovens up when I get there? I'm trying to decide. Or am I going to be really high when I get there? Or is he saying that he's a higher power and is going to make sure that I get there? I can't quite decipher it. This is going to be the last one we read on air, and we're going to take a commercial break, and we'll read the rest of them on the internet, and we're going to switch topics when we come back to land the plane. But Ahmad Shun says, hey, let me ask you something. Why you always be trying to make black people's look bad, all black people ain't messed up just like all white people's ain't. And I actually did have a conversation with this person, but just to give you an idea of what my inbox looks like. And I pretty much told him that I think that black people do a phenomenal job of making themselves look bad. It's not me that makes them look bad. Last one here. Tay says, man, shut your B butt up. And call me some filthy names. All right, let's take a break real quick. If you're watching online, I'm going to keep reading these to you guys. And when we come back, we're going to tell you, we're going to tell you a story about the Covington County officer who got shot. And we're going to bust up a myth that's floating around about him being fired over this video of him allegedly assaulting somebody and how that's not what happened. The video is out of context and the firing is too. We're going to explain to you actually what happened and let you make up your own mind instead of trying to shove a narrative down your throat, because now you've seen what the Brady listers have put out there. Now let's look at what the other side has to say. And then you can make up your own mind. This is the Clay Edwards Show, 1039 WYAB. Y'all sticking in there? Let's pick up reading these. Now I can cuss. I may go back and later and make a video of these where I can actually cuss the whole time. I think this guy here, I posted this one as a teaser yesterday, and somebody said, "But I'm pretty sure he is finally caught you to sell you an extended warranty. I almost died." But he said, "We got you now. Just wait." I said, "What, they got you? Extended warranty?" Man, I spit my drink on the computer screen. I am not kidding. That is hilarious. This was one of my favorites. Marcellus Brown says, "You was a bitch. When I catch you, I'm stabbing you in the fave." Then he corrected himself and said face. And I said, "Thanks for correcting your oh yeah, here's what I said. I said, "Thanks for correcting your typo." And up under it, I don't have it here, but up under it, he goes, "Fuck you, bitch. I'm killing you." Aaron Jackson says, "White bitch, watch it. Watch it, mouth. Can be you next. You can, white bitch, watch it, mouth. You can be next, bitch." I mean, even if you're spelling it and typing it like it sounds in your head, what the fuck are you saying? That makes no sense. White bitch, watch it, mouth. You can be next. And the sentence structure is just, they clearly did not participate in the Mississippi Miracle. Clearly. We got to zoom through these. AP, oh no, come on, man. This was we were getting some of the best ones here. I accidentally logged out. All right, AP Sky says, "Man, fuck Austin. Learn not to put your hands on people. If I knew where he was buried, I'll go piss on that shit and throw dog shit on the tombstone." That's aggressive. Very angry, very aggressive. John 30 says, "Fuck that N-word. That's why he dead. All that playing." Danielle says, "Shut up, bitch." So angry. Martin Asia says, "You a product of America. Post and exposed black men to feel superior. Go post your white race. Most of them shoot up schools and kill their parents." You know, that is such a blown out of proportion myth too, by the way. If you look at who actually does the most school shootings, it's black people. Dwight Frazier, or Frazier Dwight, says, "Put his dick in your mouth." No, thank you. Banks says, "I'm go see you one day and you'll regret it." Tony Montana says, "Fuck your mama, fuck you, your mama, your daughters, your sister. your grandma, fuck your whole family, and you can go lay right on the side of Austin, you bitch-ass cracker. I replied to him, on my mama, Jew. Dominique Dixon says, hey, bitch, I see you don't like black folk. All right, I can't read anymore. We're coming back from the break. But y'all can go find all these on my Facebook page. It's hilarious. To the Clay Edwards Show, 103.9 WYAB. Hey, guys, 042 Wine and Spirits. And, man, I need a drink after reading all those mean messages that these folks have sent your favorite radio host in the morning times here at WYAB. I thought everybody loved me. Clearly not. Clearly not. Can you call that clay derangement syndrome? Could they possibly be suffering from clay derangement syndrome? Is that a thing? If Trump derangement syndrome and Loon Squad derangement syndrome is a thing, clay derangement syndrome has to be a thing too. Anyway, if you're suffering from any kind of derangement syndrome, a nice cold drink or smooth glass of wine or your favorite whiskey, you can be found over at 042 Wine and Spirits, right there on Highway 80 next to Sonny's Barbecue in Crossgates, Brandon, 042. You know, it's kind of in the name. That means not on the reservoir, not in Flowwood. That means in Brandon, the real Brandon, 042 Wine and Spirits. Man, they got over 400 different wines to choose from, 200 different bourbons and whiskeys ready for you today. 50 different vodkas, gins, tequilas, all different ones to choose from. So many great boutique brands, craft brands, hard to find bottles, collector's editions, and something they've really gotten into big time. And I know I talk about this a lot because, well, I like it. That's why I talk about it a lot. All the different little flavors of the moonshine. Oh, man, it's so good. If you like, I'm just going to be honest with you, the older I get, the more I like straight whiskey and really tutti fruity flavored moonshine shots. The sweeter and fruitier and fruitier they are, the better. The better. So it's no in between. I like my whiskey on rocks, or I like it with so sweet and sugary flavored that I can get diabetes with a shot. They got it at 042 Wine and Spirits. Oh, so good. The banana pudding moonshine is to die for, literally. Stop by, see them today, and grab some of those little small bottles of the moonshine. And they have the big bottles available too, the mason jar ones. But these are like in the little mini mason jars. Really neat. But they're all there available, locally owned, locally operated, and award-winning 042 Wine and Spirits. All right, so I told y'all that I have a little breaking news. I don't even want to call it breaking news, but how about the other side of the story concerning the officer who was shot in the line of duty there in Covington County? Let me pull up this message here. Y'all bear with me. I had to copy and paste it and send it somewhere so I could put my hands on it. All right, so this is from a deputy that worked with the deputy who got shot, Deputy Rodney. Yates Rodney is his name. His first name is Yates. His last name is Rodney. That is confusing. You would think his name would be Rodney Yates, but it's backwards. It is Yates Rodney. I think some people thought he was trying to pull some kind of trickaroo and being Rodney Yates. I don't think that was the case. I think that was a mistake because it just doesn't read naturally. But anyway, none of that matters. They're like, oh, he changed his name so he could get a job. These people, these Brady List nut jobs, love to accuse people of changing their names. They did the same thing to me. I've been Clay Edwards since the day I was born. Anyway, so let me read this right, because I'm going to have to parse this up a little bit to completely conceal this guy's identity. But he says, I'm a deputy. I know exactly what happened with Rodney. He's a great guy and a great law enforcement officer. that crap that happened in Columbia in that video that's been circulating was actually justified. The city let him resign in good standing. Otherwise, they would have fired him. They just didn't want the heat from the public, so it was easier to fire him, which is pure crap in my personal opinion. All these people want to talk crap about Rodney and have no legitimate reason to be doing so. He in fact did not shoot first concerning the little thug, the little Hobbs brothers, because that's the new lie circulating around. That's what they're trying to say, is he shot first at them. And I really don't give a damn if he shot first or not. If they acted like they were going to shoot him, he's allowed to shoot first. They don't have to shoot first for him to shoot. He can say, put the gun down. And if or put your hands up, and if they act like they're going to pull a gun, he in fact can shoot. They do not have to fire first to get shot, to F around and find out. Continuing on. Says he in fact did not shoot first. He returned fire once both individuals fired towards him, striking him with one bullet. And Rodney then returned fire. And so did the other deputy. Don't believe any BS from the public. I will not lie for another deputy, nor will I lie to you about any law enforcement officers. There's a lot of crappy cops out there. Or he didn't say a lie. He said there's crappy cops. Don't get me wrong. But Rodney is not one of them. Just letting you know, I'm reaching out to you because I've been following you for a while and helping y'all out with the boy y'all just picked up. Just know he's one of the good ones. Pray for him. He definitely needs prayer. For the other deputy, pray for the other deputy who was with him. If he wasn't there with Rodney, then he'd be dead. So it's hard reading these the little short sentences, 3-word sentences. Anyway, so that's the other side of the story on the video circulating of him beating a guy up or stunning a guy or whatever the story is. I don't care. See, I'm the guy who halfway supported the Loon Squad. Now, not what they did at that house in Braxton that night. I don't support that. Not all of it. I don't support them shooting him, and I damn sure don't support them, Christian Deadman, sexually assaulting another man with a projectile. Absolutely not. Christian Deadman is exactly where he belongs too. Rotting in jail and eventually in hell, in my opinion. But I'm not saying, you guys, a lot of y'all don't understand that there's a lot of knuckleheads out there who ain't going to get right by normal means and procedures. You're going to have to beat them up some. You're going to have to rough them up. You're going to have to assault them. You're going to have to live in the gray with that. And it sounds to me like Officer Rodney was willing to live in the gray for the betterment of his community. We'll be right back. This is the Clay Edwards Show, 103.9 WYAB. We ain't going nowhere. Stay tuned. Sorry, it took a second for my outro music to start for the radio. I was like, wait for it. Y'all can't hear it because I don't have the volume turned up over here. But so, as I was saying, I would be dead or in jail if it wasn't for a couple cops that were willing to live in the gray to whoop my ass and get me and whoop me into shape. Now, one of them's dead now, so I don't mind mentioning his name. Brian McCurley. I've mentioned it before. Brian lived in the gray a little bit back in the day when it comes in Hinds County. And I don't mean that as a bad thing, because I credit Brian to saving my life at a point in time in my life. And then, now the next guy I'm going to tell you, he wasn't living in the gray. He was just doing his job. He roughed me up a little bit, but it was because I resisted arrest. So I firmly deserved everything that happened to me that night, and that's John Cooley when he was a Hinds County deputy. These incidents were like 15 years apart. Because look, I'll be the first. If y'all are new here, I was a fuck up into 33 years old, 34 years old. I was a fuck up still. Now I'm 48 now. So I have 15 years of being fuck up free. Well, Clay, that makes you a hypocrite. You did all these things. You out here talking about people. Yeah, because I changed. And I'm trying to tell you that you can too. You'll never see me defending criminals. It takes a cop willing to risk it all to shake you back straight. Sometimes, man, look, some of the best things that ever happened in my life was getting my ass kicked. I'm just going to be 100% honest with y'all, whether it was by some dude or by the police. Because what that does is it's a nice reset button. It makes you think about the way you live in your life and the things you're doing in your life. It's like, damn, I don't want to do that again. That motherfucker hit hard. Damn, these police can make me disappear. Sprinkle a little crack on me, and here I go, I'm going to jail. I don't want to partake in that. I'm going to start living life right. And then bang. I had a 12-year run in the car business, made a bunch of money. Was able to transition, not that kind of lefties, into the radio game. Now I got one of the top-rated shows in the state. One of the biggest digital platforms in the state, over 300,000 followers and growing. Because I decided to get right. I got baptized somewhere in the middle of all that, too. We're about to come back from break. Breaking rules when necessary, like not shutting my mouth sooner than I should coming back from these breaks. Guys, been a good show today. We've kind of been all over the place a little bit. It's what's today, Thursday? The lunch special at McBee's today is spaghetti. Good old spaghetti. So swing by McBee's, get you some good old red sauce spaghetti. And let's see here. Do I still got Facebook pulled up? Let's see if I got time real quick to tell you what is going on at Martin's for lunch today at both locations. Clock is a ticking. Let's see. The lunch special at Martin's today is pot roast. Little Mississippi pot roast. Man, you can't go wrong with that. And check out Cypress Point Resort on Facebook, too, and see what their lunch special is. I'll put it out there on social media. Same goes for El Patrio Mexican Grill and Cantina. You can check out their lunch special as well. And Chip's lunch special, he doesn't have it written down on the sheet here. So, all right, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace. All right, I'm going to tell y'all some specials here real quick. I got a couple minutes before I got to get out of here. I want to make sure we cover our sponsors' lunch specials today. Yeah, Martin's downtown and Livingston. The lunch special is pot roast. And I got a couple minutes, so maybe I'll read a couple comments too before we get out of here. Nobody needs the studio for an hour. I know Andrew likes to get in here a little quick, but he's all right now. He's got a computer where he's sitting. You're good. Thank you. Let's see here. Tell you what Cypress Point has for lunch and what they got going on tonight real quick. Let's see. Oh, it's bike night at Cypress Point Resort. Oh, always a good time with the bike crew. Always a good time. They got Brian Jones and Don Grant performing live tonight inside Cameron's Garage, and Fisher Hester over in the Tavern. And hey, there's also oh my goodness, they got 50-cent wings tonight. And you can get a bucket of domestic beer, that's like Miller Lite, Coors Light, Bud Light, for only $12. And they got $5 Fireball shots tonight. Come on down, young son. Let me share that real quick. Tonight. Man, don't ride your bike after doing too many $5 Fireball shots. or drive your car. I guess that goes without saying, I hope. All right, let's see if we got the lunch special over here. I don't see the lunch special, but they got a plate lunch special. So check that out. All right, let's look at my timer here. I got to be off. 2 hours is the most I can go on this thing without it screwing me up. Let's read some of y'all's comments. I'm sure the comments are just lovely after that. Oh, hey, by the way, moderators, y'all's event is tomorrow at the Clay Edwards Show comment section event. It's tomorrow at 6 o'clock at Beethoven's on the Reservoir. Is that still correct? Let me know in the comments there. I'm not 100% sure yet that I can make it, but I'm going to try. So just let me know. But if y'all want to come out and meet the people, that the comment section is a life upon itself. So they're having a get together, a meet and greet at Beethoven's on the Reservoir, right there next to Cockatoo Walk, tomorrow at 6, I believe. Tomorrow at 6. All right, today's World Cup day too. Oh, at 4 o'clock, not 6 o'clock. Starting at 4 o'clock tomorrow at Beethoven's on the Res. They're having a Clay Edwards Show but a comment section meet and greet. John David says, I want to come out and meet you. I'm going to try my best